Hi, I'm Jill Molchan, gluten-free lifestyle specialist, certified nutrition consultant, and owner of GoGlutenFreeGracefully.com. If you are one of the newly diagnosed celiac or gluten-sensitive people out there, I'm here to personally welcome you to a world of nutritionally dense, non-glutinous grains. You will not miss wheat, barley, and rye from your diet, guaranteed, if you start adding in some of these new grains that maybe you don't know a whole lot about. Start to incorporate them into your breakfast cereals. Start to incorporate them into your dinners. And guaranteed, you're going to start to heal your system from the inside out. And you're going to just experiment with a whole lot of different foods that maybe you wouldn't have thought to eat. So today we're going to talk about brown rice, quinoa, oats, steel-cut oats, gluten-free, millet, amaranth, buckwheat, and corn grits. So let's start with brown rice. Brown rice is actually one of the most nutritionally dense of all the rice varieties. So brown rice and white rice are similar in the fact that white rice is just brown rice with that outer hull that's been removed. When you remove the outer hull, however, you remove 50 to 90% of the nutrients. You also remove most of the dietary fiber. So cooking long grain brown rice, you are going to keep intact all of the dietary fiber: magnesium, phosphorus, B6, niacin, iron, calcium, and zinc. When cooking this, it's usually good to do a 2.5 parts water to a 1 part brown rice ratio. Now, if you want a simple, quick cooking recipe, go to my blog on www.goglutenfreegracefully.com, and there is a no-fail brown rice recipe on there, so I welcome you to experiment with that one too. Okay, let's move on to quinoa. Being touted as one of the most powerful foods out there. It comes in a black variety, it comes in a white variety, and it also comes in a red variety. Why it's being touted as such a superfood is for the fact that it's actually not a grain, it's a seed. But it can be eaten like a grain. And given the fact that it's a seed-like grain, it contains all 9 essential amino acids, meaning it's a complete protein. So it's so powerful just for the fact that it's a seed, it's a grain, it's loaded with protein. Okay, it's also loaded with magnesium, fiber, manganese, and copper. It's also really quick cooking, so it makes it a really great food item for adding to breakfast cereals. And it cooks in about 20 minutes. I usually do a 1.5 parts water to a 1 part quinoa ratio. All right, let's move on to oats. Oats are great. You know, you can make oatmeal cookies with these. You can pulse them, and you can coat fish with it. You can coat chicken with it. Steel-cut oats are loaded with fiber, magnesium, B1, and phosphorus. They're usually quick cooking as well, so I usually do a 1-to-1 ratio steel-cut oats to liquid. Next we have millet. Millet's a little bit more adventurous. However, I definitely recommend you try it. It has a sweet flavor, a soft texture, and it cooks in about 25 to 30 minutes. I love it because it's great for making pilafs or tabbouleh. It's a little bit longer grain than quinoa. 2.5 parts water to a 1 part millet ratio, loaded with fiber, folate, B vitamins. A shorter grain, a much smaller grain than millet is amaranth. You may be familiar with amaranth because it's showing up in a lot of breakfast cereals now. And it's made into flakes for breakfast cereal. You can actually eat this whole grain as a breakfast cereal. It's absolutely delicious. It's loaded with iron, fiber, zinc, magnesium, calcium, and protein, because this is another one of your seed-like grains. It's actually a seed, not a grain. It's also, you can cook it in a 2-to-1 ratio, so 2 parts water to 1 part amaranth, and it takes only about 25 minutes. Next, I have here buckwheat flour. You guys may be familiar with buckwheat pancakes. Buckwheat is really nutritionally dense. It is loaded with protein, magnesium, zinc, phosphorus, potassium, and B vitamins. Many of you may be familiar with the whole groat form of buckwheat, which are called kasha. They're oftentimes toasted and added to granola, gluten-free granola. I recommend starting to add buckwheat into your favorite gluten-free flour mixes. And the last one here we have is polenta, corn. Okay, corn is great. It's loaded with iron, protein, fiber. It's great for cooking cornbread. It's great as a grit cereal, but it's also great for coating fish and coating chicken. And you can pan sear with a little bit of corn on the outside. So as you'll see here, guys, you've been told you need to omit wheat, barley and rye from your diet, it doesn't matter. There's so many wonderful grains out there, and these grains are loaded with the essential vitamins and minerals that you need to start healing your digestive system. So I welcome you to try these and get in touch with me. Let me know what you think.